Okay, so let's begin with a little seated practice, and then we will have some pranayama, like I was just saying. You may want to blow your nose. Up to you, of course. You could check it, and then we'll find out. Okay, so please rest your hands in your lap and let your eyes close. And bring your antenna inward, all the activities of daily life. Bring the antennas and the senses and your intentions inward to the plumb line in your practice. And let's begin. When you come inward, and you're going to notice things like you'll notice your senses, you'll notice your body, you'll notice your breath. Let's practice not modifying anything, that you're really just being with the experience as it's showing up. And try to gently become aware of what happens when whatever your experience is, it receives your non-judging, non-coercive, loving attention. Now, quite naturally, the mind is filled with habits, so it'll have habits and preferences, desires for things to be different, a preference for things not to be as they are. You can have that kind of co-arising, a longing to feel more vibrant, for example, or a preference not to have pain in your toe. Those can happen at the same time. So we are just noticing, without adding narrative, what happens when you're observing and your experience is simply receiving your loving and kind and non-judging attention. And then begin to let the breath be a source of that attention. So you're going to inhale from the base of the belly. The inhale does lightly touch the pelvic floor. Then the in-breath comes up through the system and expands three-dimensionally. Perhaps the breath can rise up even to touch the heart, front and back. And then the exhale will begin at the base of the belly, just causing this gentle tone as you pull inwards. You are massaging the inner body. Now towards whatever we're noticing, may we practice this afternoon to be nourishing, to be vigorous when necessary, to remember that which is luminous, and to develop the inner quality of patience and fortitude. So please bring your hands together at your heart, and we can sing together. Sahana vavatu. Sahano bhunaktu savidyam karavavai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Sahana vavatu, sahano bhunaktu, savidyam karavavai, tejasvinavaditamastu. Ma vidvishavai. Sahana vavatu. Sahana Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavai Om Shanti Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands. Please open your eyes. Okay, so we're going to practice a little bit vigorous exhale. I'm going to back up so you can see a little more of me. So it'll be a strong exhale out through the nose. We call Kapalabhati. And then we'll exhale completely. We're going to inhale and hold the breath for a few moments. When we first exhale, it'll be through both nostrils. Then it will be left only, right only, and then like a tiny straw out through the mouth. Okay, so rest your hands in your lap, please. Sit up tall, and remember that your Kapalabhati comes from the base of the belly. It doesn't come from the face making more effort. It comes from the diaphragm. Okay, so just take a light sort of half inhale in, and then follow my pace, please. Exhale completely. Now inhale from the bottom to the top to hold the breath. And puff up the chest. Exhale slowly through both nostrils. Inhale from the bottom of the belly to the top of the heart and hold the breath. To hold the breath, you lift and brighten the chest, tone the low belly and the throat. Close the right nostril, exhale left side only. Inhale from the bottom to the top and hold the breath again. Close the left nostril, exhale right side only. One more time, inhale from the bottom to the top and hold the breath at the top. Now, like a tiny cocktail straw, exhale through the mouth. Deeply relax the belly. Let the next inhale blossom into the body. We're going to practice that sequence one more time completely. And we'll take that quality of mind and heart that happened from there into the physical practice of more dynamic asana. So beginning with a brief inhale, please follow my pace on the exhale. Exhale completely. Inhale from the bottom to the top. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale from the bottom to the top, holding the breath at the top. Close the right nostril, exhale left side only. Inhale from the bottom to the top, holding the breath at the top. Close the left nostril, exhale right side. Last time, inhale from the bottom to the top, hold the breath at the top. Like a tiny straw, exhale completely. At the end of the exhale, you squeeze the belly and the breath, and then radically relax and let the next in-breath just blossom into the body. And then taking this quality of mind and heart into the physical practice, I said a little bit more dynamic. I mean, we're going to be doing some twisting poses starting in a quadruped position. So please come onto your table pose position. And Susie will go to the Sarahjoy phone camera. Okay. So when we come down, we're going to come into table pose. And starting from the upper back, we're going to work our way into some twisting poses. So for those of you who wear glasses, we don't actually need them right now. And it's going to help us to take the eyes, the sense of sight inward like we've been doing the last couple of days. So you place your hands in table pose. And then I'm going to ask you to bring your left hand up and across in front of your right hand like this. Then turn your left palm face up. And as you come down and back with your hips, you're not going to go all the way to child's pose, but reach your hips back and slightly down. Lower your right elbow. Rest your head on your left upper arm. And bring the breath down along the left hemisphere of your body. You can close your eyes and imagine your gaze going in towards the brainstem. Sending a reassuring gaze towards the brainstem to say, hey, we're just here practicing yoga. One more time, breathe on the left hemisphere of the body. So you can kind of sense from your left pinky finger a long line on the outside of the arm, along the outer shoulder blade, to the back of your waist, the side of your waist, and into the sacrum, left side of your sacrum. And then press down into your right hand and bring yourself to table. Walk your right hand in front of your left, turn to the back of your right hand. As you come down, Place your left elbow on the floor for support. You may rest your head on your right upper arm. Bring your gaze down and in, so even the eyes can be closed. And try to sense the breath moving along the right hemisphere of the body. So we aren't actually putting the hips into child's pose. We simply reach them back to give some traction from your right pinky along the outside of your right arm, right outer shoulder blade, the side of your waist, and down into your sacrum. And then press down through your left hand. Return to table pose. And in this table pose now, take your right hand and press firmly into the floor. Inhale and twist to your left. And then exhale, simply return that so your left hand can cross your right hand for a moment. There's the exhale. Okay, press into your right arm. Inhale, twist to your left. Use the strength of your right arm there. Even as you exhale, return your left hand across your right, but keep the right arm steady. Again, inhale, twist left. And exhale, unwind. And this time try it with your eyes closed and with little to no effort from the eyes. Direct the effort to be in the breath and your body and your right arm. And then exhale to come down. Let's take the left arm under the torso and then come to the back of your left hand, the back of your left wrist, the back of your left forearm, the back of your left upper arm. Use your right hand on the floor to support a twist of the upper body to your right. You may close your eyes. So the hips are probably vertical to your knees here, and the torso being lower, you have this kind of downward and inward pose with a twist in the upper back and the heart. Take your gaze in and down towards your brainstem, just to give this very reassuring and loving message. You're here to practice yoga, to nourish yourself physiologically, to tell the lizard brain, the brainstem, that we are replenishing and renewing right now. And then press down into your right hand and glide yourself back to table pose. So place both hands firmly in your table pose. And then inhale, twist to your right. Make the left arm strong. As you exhale, float your right hand down and just cross over your left hand. And inhale, open to your right. And exhale to unwind from your twist. Your eyes can be closed here. They are not essential movers for the twists right now. Inhale, use the strength of your left arm, your breath, and your trunk. And exhale to come down. Right hand crosses the left. And then once more, inhale, open to your right. Use the strength of your left arm. And then exhale and bring your right arm under your torso here. Come to the back of your right hand, the back of your right wrist, your forearm, your upper arm. Press down with your left hand firmly into the floor. So you're twisting your upper body to your left, but your gaze can be inward towards your brainstem. You may notice the twist most predominantly in the upper back and heart, but you might also sense that there are sensations along the right side of your waist or even your right outer hip. And then as you next exhale, press into your left hand and glide yourself back to table pose. And now I am going to recommend that you sit back and watch for a moment because I'm going to demonstrate something. And let me see if I can give you the most clear view for the demonstration. I'll go this way. Okay. So I'm going to be weaving my arm under for the twist a little bit more, and I'm going to step one foot back temporarily and then bring that knee back to the floor. So if you start in table, I step the right leg back like this to plank pose, and I want to take the left arm down alongside my mat towards my right foot. And that movement means that I'm on the back of my left hand, the back of my left wrist, forearm, upper arm, and yes, my shoulder. And then this hand walks around without pulling your hair. And when I bring my right knee down, it secures the right arm, and the twist is in the upper back. Like this. So that's a very deep twist. I'm going to recommend you start from table and just step your right foot back to plank pose like this, because it's going to pick up your right hip. You'll be able to glide your left arm down your yoga mat this way to some extent, whatever extent you can do. And then you walk your right hand around your head and slowly bring your right knee down. And maybe your right knee will touch your left arm, and maybe it won't. And as you twist your upper body to your right, you can gaze inward towards your brainstem. There are times in yoga class where people actually roll over from this pose. They have like a martial arts moment, or they might call it a clumsy moment. So if you fall over, please know you won't be the only one. Then we're going to glide the right leg back to plank pose. Walk your right hand around to a supportive position. Press into the right hand and glide up to kneeling. And then just pause to notice like how things are feeling upstairs here in the upper body, particularly in your upper back, neck, and shoulders. And then let's try the other side. I'll turn about so you can see me. So we start in table pose, step your left foot back like plank pose. And then the right hand is going to go under and down towards your left foot. And the process already begins with a twist here. So you're on the back of the right arm, the back of the right shoulder. And then as you walk around, you can bring your left knee down. And the twist is going to be your upper body to your left. Keeping your eyes closed and your gaze down near your brainstem is a way of staying at home in the inner body. And you can glide the left leg back to plank pose. Bring your left hand around to where it supports you. And then press down and rise up to table pose. And then back to kneeling. So that you can sense, okay, what's happening upstairs? So a couple days ago, we began exploring more at the 4th chakra, 5th chakra, 6th chakra. That's where we are right now. Let's please rise up to standing. I'm sorry that I can't see you all really up close and personal in those twists, because they actually are poses I like to see adults doing. Because there's a childlike quality to sort of figuring it out. And at the same time, it's not an easy pose. There's a little bit of complexity in there. So it's helpful. If you have questions, you can ask me a little bit later. Let's please bring 2 blocks for the sun salutation and place them on either side of your feet here at the front. If you still need to get yoga blocks, by the way, there's a link on our website for that. Okay, please join your hands together. Let's now come into the Ujjayi breath. So you have that internal companion up and down the central channel of the spine. Exhale completely and relax your eyelids on your eyes, keeping your gaze inward. Then inhale, allow the arms to begin the journey intuitively, like almost as if you're moving through water and the arms are sensing that. Take a few breath cycles if you need to, so that when you rise to the upper part of your Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands, there can be a feeling of fullness on the inhale, fountaining upwards through your fingers. And then exhale and cascade forward and down, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward, lift the base of your skull without the eyes needing to see where you're going. Exhale for a deep bow towards your legs. Energize both feet and both legs and tone the deep low belly. Inhale, glide forward. With your exhale, take your left toes back. With inner confidence in your own practice, then inhale, float your arms wide, rise up. You may also gaze up. But if you gaze up, keep the eyes within the reach of your thumbs. So not going so far beyond the circumference of the arms. Your gaze is actually inwardly attentive, even if your eyes are open and looking at your thumbs. And then exhale, make a wide circle of the arms gently. You may, on the way down, about halfway, perhaps you're like, oh, I could close my eyes. I have a sense of where I'm going. And then inhale, step your left foot forward, bring your heart forward, but not your gaze. And then exhale, right toes back. Find the foundation of your pose, firmly press down. And then inhale, begin the process of floating up, as if you had been in the water and you are gently surfacing up to the air. If you'd like to have your eyes open, you could gaze up at your thumbs. You, of course, can gaze wherever you like. It is your practice. But I'm recommending that if you have the eyes open, your gaze is near to your thumbs. It might mean that you bring the arms forward to have that gaze be easier for your thumbs to find. So that really your mental gaze is inward. And then as you exhale, float the arms out to the side, come slowly forward and down. You may choose to close your eyes for the lower part of that movement, and then set the blocks aside and press backwards into downward facing dog pose. And in downward dog pose, you are welcome to close your eyes. You have a lot of experience with your downward dog pose already. So energize both arms. Gaze inwardly towards the brainstem and give a little lift at your occipital ridge. So there's a great sense of respect for the part of your brain that nourishes and sustains your physiology. This part of your brain is responsible for your respiration, your body temperature, innervation, so many of the beautiful housekeeping chores of the body. When you next inhale, glide forward to plank pose. So if your eyes were open, they'd be gazing down between your thumbs. You may keep your eyes closed and lift the very base of your skull. And exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Please put your blocks outside of the reach of your arms so they won't be in your way. Sweep your arms alongside your torso, and let's do palms face up near your hips. As you inhale, raise your left leg and right arm and gaze to your left. As you exhale, come back down. So inhale, raise your right leg, left arm left, gaze right. Exhale, come back down. Now when I say gaze right, you don't actually have to open the eyes. So inhale, left leg, right arm right, nose left. Exhale down. Inhale, switch, right leg, left arm left, nose right. Exhale to lower. Again, left leg, right arm. Exhale to come down. Last one. And exhale to lower. Place your hands beneath your shoulders and just gently bow your forehead to the floor where it meets your hairline. Lengthen your tailbone back. Curl your toes under. And inhale, press up to plank pose. And then exhale, reach your hips high into downward facing dog pose. In downward dog pose, use all of your prior experience and knowledge of downward dog pose to make a pose that becomes more stable right now, in this moment, and really allows your body to become still, the breath smooth, and the mind inside very tranquil. So without any sense of physical or mental fidgeting, enjoy 2 breath cycles more. And then as you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. And bring your blocks back into view on either side of your front ankle. You're going to need your blocks for the twisting that we're going to be doing. So if we have the 2 blocks like bookends, one on the right, one on the left, then we have a couple of options already. And we're going to be exploring these different options. So first thing, place the block close to your right ankle. Position your left hand firmly there. Inhale, twist to your right. As you twist, please gaze down. So the chest and heart twist to your right, but your gaze is down to your left. Relax the eyes. If they're open, keep them very soft so you're not penetrating a hole in anything you're looking at. If the eyes are closed, gaze in towards your brainstem. And then exhale, slowly unwind. Place your right hand on the block. Walk the left block to the left side of your yoga mat so it's much farther out. Take your right hand to your right knee. Position your left arm to be directly over your left shoulder right here. And then twist over your left arm. Turn your chest and your heart. Also turn your gaze and raise your right arm high. So this time the twist has a little bit of a back bend. It's more open, more spacious. Yeah, nice job. Good, yeah, so twisting to your right, you could flare the fingers of your right arm, open your chest and your heart and your throat. And then exhale and come down with your right hand to its block. Bring the left block back in. And let's step backwards to downward dog pose. And you can use the 2 blocks at shoulder distance apart for your downward dog to be a little bit elevated. And then step your left foot forward between your hands. And bring the block for your right hand snugly in against your left ankle, Press firmly down. And as you gaze down, twist to your left. You may raise your left arm. In the process of twisting to your left here, you may have more or less mobility than you did to your right. But keep your gaze down and think less of the sort of physical end range and more of the internal process. How firm is your right arm? How steady is your left leg? Can you keep the base of the skull lifted and the eyes unhurried and unworried? And then as you exhale, let this pose unwind so your left hand can come back down to the firmness of that block. Take the block under your right hand and move it to the right side of your mat. And then bring your torso over so you're able to be vertical to your right wrist, from your shoulder down to your wrist. Take your left hand to your left knee and twist to your left. This is a little bit more like a back bend pose, a little bit like cobra pose actually. As you next inhale, raise your left arm high. Feel free to spread the fingers wide, make the pose lighter, more expansive. Keep the back leg strong, that is your right leg. Left outer hip and heel can be steady. And then as you exhale, unwind slowly. Bring your left hand back down to its familiar block. Bring the right block in. And one more time, step backwards to downward dog pose. And then from your downward dog pose, please roll forward so your knees can come to the floor. Take one block to sit on in Vajrasana. Roll back to your seat. When you come upright, just imagine inside all these actions. Your lizard brain is actually aware of those actions and will joyfully tend to these housekeeping chores if your mind is not pressuring. You can allow the joyfulness of the lizard brain to take care of your brain chemistry, your blood circulation, your heart rate, your respiration, your body temperature. And with the eyelids, imagine that they're like heavy curtains over the eyes, and the eyes are inward and relaxed, gazing back along the line, the invisible sort of neurological pathway to where sight is interpreted at the back of your head, and then down into the brainstem itself. Let your attention come to your throat, and then down to your heart. We're going to repeat our breathing practice from the very beginning of class. So just take a half inhale. Please don't cause pressure in the eyes as you're doing this practice. Exhale completely, slowly, fully. And then inhale from the bottom of the pelvis up to the heart and the collarbones to hold the breath at the top. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale from the bottom to the top, holding the breath to brighten the heart. Close the right nostril, exhale left side. Inhale from the bottom to the top to brighten the chest, snug the low belly in and up as you hold the inhale. Close the left nostril, exhale right side. Last time, inhale from the bottom to the heart to hold. Like a tiny cocktail straw, exhale. Allow the next in-breath to blossom into the body. You don't need to make the breath happen now. You can recognize its intelligence for just quietly taking care of you. And then please release from your blocks and lie on your back with your knees bent. When you come down with the knees bent, place your feet so they are hip distance apart and parallel. Place your hands where they're most comfortable for you. We are going to do a spine twist, and we're going to put one arm in cactus pose for the twist. So let's start with the right arm in cactus pose like this. So the most open twist is if you then just allow both knees to drop down to your left. And since I want your right shoulder to stay on the floor, I'm going to recommend this open version of the twist. What you do here is you keep the right shoulder down. Now press from your right butt into your right thigh and lengthen your right thigh towards your knee. Turn your head to the right as comfortably as it goes and let your eyes close. Your breath can be very simple right now. This is not a super dynamic yoga pose. You're not right now building vigor. This is a pose for releasing. But let the breath be present, but not too dynamic. And then roll your hips back to center. Your knees will follow. How about if we place the right hand on the low belly, place the left arm in cactus pose, and just let both knees drop down lazily to your right. And press from your left hip through your left thigh into your left knee. Yeah, good. You can turn your head to your left. I'm looking at you, but you don't have to look at me. And try to sense the breath coming down into the hollow on the left side of the belly. That hollow is created because you've tipped the hips to the right, and so the organ system gently drops to the right, and there can be this little place inside the left hip, under the left rib cage, that is receptive to the breath. And then roll your knees back to center, and let's please come to Shavasana. So what I'm going to recommend is the most simple Shavasana, because I want your body just to have the permission right now to be at its most simple. However, if you've been craving a sort of spa-like Shavasana, you could certainly use your blankets or your blocks, or you could put your legs up on the wall or the sofa or the ottoman or up on the bed. Otherwise, you can just lie very quietly, very simply, and bring your awareness to the place where your eyebrows, you could draw a line up to your hairline, and right there, invite there to be this deep softening to nourish the pineal gland right behind your forehead. You could imagine the pineal gland actually like when there's a stone tossed into the water, the ripples go out until they fade and fade and fade. And that your pineal gland has that kind of, the ripples are fading and fading and fading. And the master gland of your body becomes more easeful. And just keep imagining that this space right behind the forehead, this organ, pineal gland, the space behind your eyes, the neocortex, more and more deeply relaxed. The ripples fading and fading and fading again. Imagine the master gland of your body is so profoundly at ease. Allow the eyes now to become heavy in their sockets. So the eyes are not pressing against the lids. And as the eyes rest, they learn from the pineal gland The ripples fade and fade and fade. So deeply resting your eyes, your pineal gland, and even imagining that moment to moment it will keep the thought storms down and allow you to stay with the possibility of a reflective, clear sight. And stay with the eyes and the master gland of the body becoming even more at ease. Now invite there to be deep rest again for both eyes and the pineal gland. This profound sense of ease. You can visualize that working on your own behalf. That being effective inside. The ripples continue to fade and fade and fade. The eyes, the master gland, more and more deeply at rest. Ya Devi Sarvabhukteshu Shantirupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhukteshu Shantirupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Over the next few moments, you may just quietly allow awareness to filter back in to your body and to the present moment, to the time-space continuum. And then you can lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And please bend one knee at a time and roll thoughtfully to your right side. And then you may use both hands to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat, please. When you come upright, really try to sense what is the potency of your practice inside, and how have you been able to be present for yourself. And you can imagine the dozens of others who are practicing with you right now. Please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.